And we're live!
From Keeler Gardens.
Yay!
And you'd never know, we had like
an inch of snow.
Lots of snow on the ground just a few hours ago. So I don't know if anyone else woke up this morning saying, oh my God. So we are coming to you from Keeler Gardens on the north side of Chicago. For all of those that are watching locally, walk by, visit us on Keeler Avenue. We are a nonprofit here offering whatever services we can during this time, but specifically these videos to keep you connected with nature, stay connected with friends, with people in the community, with people around the world, and with nature, to keep us sound in our emotional well-being and our mental health, etc., etc.
I believe it's called being sane.
Being sane, staying sane, and also
Especially
some
at this
opportunities
time
for youth to connect in a myriad of ways. So we're talking to you today about the recent snow. So
now, there are a couple places you can see the snow.
Still lingering
the
on,
pine behind you over there.
Spots
Yep.
in the garden. I was relatively concerned. Relatively,
yes.
I knew that there was going to be the meltdown would happen, and I knew that some of the weight of that snow was going to be an issue. So if you look around here, you'll see what happened with the cold weather and the snow. I'll give you an example. Look at this guy over here. See how he has fallen? See how wet his petals are? He was inundated with snow, okay? He may or may not perk back up. We're going to have to wait and see on that one, okay?
But all of these were
were all
sideways.
buried. They were all under snow, like about this much. Some of them were poking through, some of them were not. But everything looks really good out here in the front. See these guys here, they stayed upright. I want to show you some of what happened with the peonies here. So see how that one's bent over, how he fell
yes.
over? So almost all of these were
like that
from the cold and the snow. Just the weight of it, because it was wet snow.
Mm-hmm.
And with a little bit of sunshine, a little rise in temperature, pretty much everything has recovered. If that one there, and this one here, if they don't recover, as they grow, we will tuck them into these cages to keep them upright, okay? We look over here, we see some of our Chianodoxa did succumb to the weight of the snow, all right?
But now what are the chances of, after a couple days of warmth, are they
if it was warm,
this
this might pop back up, yeah. And if it doesn't, and if some of those daffodils don't, then all we do is we just cut them and put them in a vase. Mm-hmm. The hyacinths smell wonderful. We'll look over here. We did have a casualty, if you'll notice here. This one has a pretty strong bend in it. We'll probably have to cut that.
It's got a crease.
Yeah, it's got a crease in it.
There it is.
Right there. But and there's one back there that's got a little bend to it. You notice these two here? They're leaning, but they're not broken. We can leave them and see what happens.
They still smell wonderful.
And the hyacinths, we had one down a week or two ago.
Week and a half ago.
And we brought it inside. It's been
still doing
having the house
great.
smell lovely. So the reason we want to bring this up is because we get that last spring snowfall, and we're like, snow, what the heck? Snow is water, okay? Water. That last April snow is like a cold rain shower. Now it's not a perfect scenario for some plants, but as these are all, as we've discussed, these cool weather bulbs, I didn't mind. Nothing was terribly destroyed. The few, I think we'll have maybe a half a dozen we'll bring inside. We'll put in a pretty vase. Maybe we'll take a picture of that. Mm-hmm. But our goal here is to show you that snowfall is water, and that water is really important. It's watering these plants. Now that it's melted down, that snow is now keeping the soil moist. That snow also, when melting in certain areas, is providing water for pollinators. So the bees are going to be out here drinking off the petals. Mm-hmm. All right? So although we worry that the snow might be a bit much for us, in this case, it was actually well appreciated in that it fell gently. It fell over a long period of time, and now it's melted away, and we've had no negative effects from it. So we wanted to focus again on the cool weather plants because we're having cold weather all week this week. It's going to be pretty much like this all for the rest of the week. We might get some mixed rain and snow, and we just want to pay attention if needed. Again, we'll refer to this hyacinth over here, this one that has a little bend. If the rain and snow had been too much for this guy, you can come and just shake it up. get some of that wetness, some of that snow. I don't know if you can see, there's a little puddle of water right there. And if too much water, and there's some puddles there, too much water collects and puddles, that's what weighs the plant down. But if you need to, just give it a little shake and that water will release and the snow will release and it'll take the weight off the plant. And then you can just wake it up. And you can always use an old branch or a neighboring branch and prop it if you want to have it remain in the space. All right. And this information is for gardeners who have actively growing bulbs and are managing their space. And that's what we do here. One of the other things that we do at times like this is we think to ourselves, okay, what worked? We had that late snow. What really succumbed to that snow? And then we note, maybe we don't plant that again. Maybe we don't recommend it in a scenario by which that last late snow is going to ruin that display. It's going to take away from the value of that plant. And you can decide for yourself. The other thing that we wanted to show you guys is as things are coming up is that the bulbs are layered. So, for example, we have right in here all these beautiful hyacinths, but mixed in are some perennials that we're hoping will come up later on for us to see, which will progress in these wonderful talks that we're giving. So, with that said, we're talking here about a specific design. If you have questions about, well, what bulbs or plants should I be considering if I want something blooming at this time? We can answer that. What should I not consider? For example, you wouldn't want to plant something that's going to open up too soon. Like I was telling Ed, magnolia trees, they have these beautiful blooms, but if you don't plant them in the right place and they get too much cool weather sun, they'll open prematurely and then they can burn with the winter and freeze. We're also talking about scenarios which we're talking about the last frost. Remember yesterday we talked about annuals versus perennials. There are some plants that if we bring them out, our little seedlings, and we bring them out and it snowed on them, they might not have made it.
You were mentioning that about some vegetables, right?
So there are some cool weather vegetables. As long as you have a little bit of a root system, the seed has sprouted and you have some roots. Things like some of the spinaches, kales, lettuces, some of those leafy greens will be okay with a little cold. Now the snow that we had was enough, and it was cold enough that it would really matter on your microclimate. Did you have good luck or did you have bad luck? So it's not 100%. These are living things, and that's one of the things that we're trying to show, that every garden's different, every space is different, every spring is different, and so that's what's so exciting about these different shows every year.
Speaking of living things,
we have our regular sidekick coming to visit. Hello, Hunter. Hello. She wanted to say hi to everybody. So again, if you have questions on anything we're doing here, questions about how to water, at this time of year, are we worried about water? So we're trying to keep everyone intrigued and interested in and finding a reason to learn more, so that we can keep everyone connected with nature, because our message here is truly that connection with nature is vital for all of us to survive, to thrive in communities and families, at school, with other animals. We were talking about spirit animals. Maybe one day we'll see whose spirit animal is the cat. So, all right, sweetie, I'll pick you up and hold you so you can say hi to everybody. So, again, visit us daily here to learn about what's going on at Keeler Gardens, to be exposed to a nature connection for your benefit. We can expand on any of these things for you to share with youth or students.
Visit our Instagram account at Keeler Gardens for what's in bloom.
So what's in bloom today will be the snowfall. I have some fun pictures of some snow-covered items, I believe, that I'll have for you guys to look at. Did I catch the snow?
I know I have some.
And Ed has some too. We have some dalliances with the snow. We always want to make sure that we give everyone all the wonderful information that they can participate in all the different ways. Once we're done here with the video, we'll turn on the meditation music. It actually is, although cool, the sun is peeking through and we'll have the music on. It's a quiet street. The birds are chirping. If you walk by, you can just take a break and listen to the music for a little bit. If we're not out working here and it's empty enough, you're welcome to sit on the rocking chairs and maybe Hunter will jump in your lap. You'll notice our prayer flags. We're going to put a couple new ones out. We'll take some pictures and post those in the video about the prayer flags. So these are all just different ways that you can participate. What are you taking a picture of behind me?
Oh, I'm just trying to keep the microphone. Every time you turn around, nobody can hear you. So I'm trying to keep the microphone
I'm
near
going
your
toward
face.
the microphone. Okay. So these are different ways you can participate, even though we aren't holding programs on site. And the reason we're trying to keep these types of programs going is because even now, even though we're not running programs, we're still a nonprofit, and we still have to keep the doors open because we want to build this nature connection indefinitely with our community. If you need help in your community, let us know. We can do videos, we can do talks via webinars online. We want to reach out to you and get you connected in your community. And now it's even easier than it has ever been because everybody's getting used to this webinar idea. So even if you're not in the Chicago area, wherever you are, the science of connecting with nature, soil science, the chemistry of food science, and the psychology of connecting with nature, it's the same everywhere. So we would love to talk to whomever is interested about presenting on any topic virtually and eventually in person. So thank you for your time. It's getting cold. And just let us know if you have questions or comments. Please share these videos, follow us, like us. If you have a friend who might be in need of a nature connection, or you know a group or a school group or any community that wants to learn more about pollinators, connecting with nature, the cognitive benefits, the improvement that we see with youth in their education and in their devotion and in their motivation, please let us know, and we'll get you we'll put you in contact with the right information, or we'll help you build something that we can do together. All right? Again, thank you from Keeler Gardens for listening, for watching, for sharing. Visit us on the north side of Chicago on Keeler Avenue. We are a nonprofit, so the space is here for everyone to enjoy. And as soon as we can, we'll have maybe some chairs out for people to be able to sit and enjoy the space. Thank you all very much. Have a good one.